So we're going to move, from this. Previously we did prepare income statement, statement of changes in equity, and balance sheet. I'm going to introduce what is worksheet. Worksheet is another shortcut or easy way to check your accounts, to see whether you have to determine your profit and to balance your account. So from the trial balance, we are going to prepare worksheet. So this is we can have 6 column worksheets or maybe 10 column worksheets. Okay. So this topic will be tested in your midterm, in your quiz too. In quiz too. Okay. So this is your worksheet. We have the debit and credit, the trial balance. Okay. And then from this trial balance, we can prepare income statement and balance sheet. We just skip the process statement of changes in equity. We skip that process. So how I'm going to do that is going to include another two columns, not 2 columns, 4 columns here, income statement and balance sheet. So revenue and expenses will go to income statement, others will go to balance sheet. Others will go to balance sheet. So how we're going to do that is very easy. If you look here, we have your repairs, rental, wages, supplies. This is your revenue, and this is your expense. So we're going to transfer this figure to your income statement. For example, your revenue credit. So I'm going to transfer to the credit. This figure is debit. So I'm going to transfer to the debit side. So this is your income statement. Let me show you how you're going to do this. So this is how you're going to do that. Yeah. So then we total up our debit and credit. When we total, we found that our total revenue is 3,000. Our total expense is 3,700. Okay. Let me repeat again. Our total expenses is 3,700. So this is our total expenses. 3,700. If you compare your total revenue and your total expenses, total debit and total credit, you'll see that your total credit is lower than your total debit. So this is your loss. This will be your loss, 700. So to balance these two, you need to add 700 on your credit side. So you're going to credit your income statement, and then this figure you're going to debit your balance sheet. You're going to debit your balance sheets. Okay. Let me repeat again. How to prepare this uh, worksheet. Yeah, this is the basic worksheet. First, you identify your revenue. It's on credit side. So you're going to transfer it to your income statement, not balance sheet, to income statements. Okay. Whereas for your expenses, is on the debit side. Okay. So you're going to move to income statement, this item under the debit side. Then you total your debit and credit. You need to total your debit and credit. Once you total your debit and credit, you find that your total debit, which is equal to total expenses, is 3,700, whereas your total credit or total revenue is 3,000. So that is, they give you 700 difference. So this difference is your loss. Automatically, you know this is your loss, not profit. This is your loss. Okay. So in that case, you can have a total balance of 3,007, 3,000 plus 700. So it makes 3,007. That is for your revenue and expenses. For other items, if the item is debit, for example, your assets, yeah, cash, equipment, supplies, you're going to transfer to the debit side of your balance sheet. You're going to put it here. Okay. For drawing, also debit. So you're going to put your drawing here. And then for loan payable, this is your liability. Capital is also your on the credit side. So this item will go on the credit side of your balance sheet. It's very easy. Just follow the rule. Is it from credit you'll go to the credit side of your balance sheets. Okay. The difference is for your loss, since you credit your income statement, so you're going to debit your balance sheet. Okay, mean your capital is credit. When you debit your balance sheet, your capital will reduce. That is the concept, reduce in the capital. So how are we going to do that? We're going to do the same procedure here. I'm going to transfer all the other items to balance sheet. Balance sheet. Then, if we total your balance sheet now, on your total debit is 47,000, whereas total credit is also 47,000. Okay, this is what I mean by the loss there. The loss there. So this is the balance sheet. This is balance sheet. Are you okay with this? So we have trial balance. From the trial balance, we split into two columns. One is income statement, another one is for balance sheet. Yeah. What are the component? What are the component of the income statement? Revenue and expenses. What are the component of this balance sheet under this statement, under the worksheet? All item, assets, liability, capital, drawing. Yeah. Okay. And where does this 700 come from? This 700 come from your income statement. This 700, I put a credit on the income statement. So to balance this, I'm going to debit my balance sheet. I'm going to debit my balance sheet. If you make a profit, what happens if you make a profit? If you make a profit here, so in your balance sheet, you're going to record on the other side, debit. On the this is debit, this will be credit. This will be credit. But don't worry, you're going to do this a lot with Miss Yusra and Miss Afmin. Okay. Let me just repeat the process again. Okay.
Professor,
Yes.
what is the purpose of doing this?
So from our trial balance, yeah, we want to test whether how much profit that we make. Okay, the easiest way is to prepare the worksheet. You can use Microsoft Excel. Yeah, I'm using the Microsoft Excel. So you create another two columns. That is one for income statement. Second is for your balance sheet. Okay, second is for your balance sheet. Okay, let us start with the income statement. As we have learned before, income statement comprise of revenues and expenses. Comprise revenues and expenses. So in this trial balance, we identified earlier that repair revenue is your revenue. So this is your revenue. So you're going to record this item. You're going to move this item to your income statement. To your income statement. We're going to move it here, 3,000. Okay. And for all expenses, luckily we have organized our trial balance nicely. Otherwise, if your electricity on the top, so it's quite difficult. You need to identify one by one. So in this case, all these expenses, I'm going to transfer to income statement, but on the debit side. On the debit side. Yeah. Always remember then we have this formula: asset, expenses, drawing. This is the plus one. This is the nominal part. For liability, capital, and revenue, the plus increase on the credit side. So the normal balance will be on the debit side for expenses. So I'm just transferring everything here. So from this process, you will able to determine your total expense. Your total expense is 3,700. Your total revenue is 3,000. So your net loss is 700. So this will be your net loss. Net loss. Okay. Okay, and you are going to bring this net loss to your balance sheet. If you, this is credit, so in this account you're going to debit 700. So this is why we debit 700. For assets, liability, capital, and drawing, the remaining unprocessed or unticked accounts, you're going to transfer all these accounts to your balance sheet. That is either debit or credit. So this give you this figure 20,950, 24,000 350, and then we total up, you will get the same total debit and total credit balance. So this is how it works.
Sir, I have a question.